play the 30-second counting down video right now. Jian everyone. Well, before we reveal the backstage over here, I just wanted to say GM to everyone, thank you so much for joining this event. We are streaming across platforms and I'm will be your host. I'm also the builder. Yeah, at Menta. I'm very glad to be able to interview Johnson, the founder of Ambrus Studio. This is the second time, or maybe the third time, right? I've been interviewing for several times throughout the years from when very beginning, right? The very beginning of building Amber Studio and right now. So today we're going to cover AI plus Web3 games and Sui. This is the future of Web3 gaming, and let's give Johnson a warm welcome. Yeah. Okay, right now I'm going to reveal the backstage over here so everyone can see as amazing. And I would like to, of course, first thing is that to thank everyone for joining us today. I saw that our events already being featured on the front page of Binance Live, and we're super happy to see a lot of familiar faces. And would like to invite Johnson to introduce yourself and, of course, introducing Amber Studio to us. Thank you.
All right, thank you. It's indeed been a while. It just shows that, how long both of us has been in the circle, and then we're still building on the same project, which is not easy because we did weather through a whole bear cycle already. So my name is Johnson. I'm the founder and CEO for Ambrus Studio. I'm super happy to be here today. I spent most of my career with McKinsey, the management consulting firm, and then I entered the gaming industry in 2015. For me, that was a dream come true because I was a pro-level gamer when I was younger. Number 2 in StarCraft in Taiwan, number 1 on MSN Gaming Zone for Age of Empires 1. I was also on the quote-unquote national team for Taiwan for Magic the Gathering. So I've been a pro-level gamer when I was young, and then joining Riot Games in 2015 as the head of esports for League of Legends in China. That was a dream come true for me. So over the next few years, I was able to take League of Legends to become China's largest sport. We broadcast 6 billion hours every year, making us larger than the local soccer league, basketball league, as well as NBA in terms of total hours broadcasted. So the league went from almost no revenue to a unicorn level type of revenue. And then, I was credited as people call me the godfather of esports in China. So as a result, I got promoted all the way to become Riot Games Asia CEO, looking after all publishing and esports for the region, look after all the co-developed games we have with Tencent, 2 of which are still perennial top 10 titles in China right now. So those were extremely fun years, but I decided to start my entrepreneurial journey in 2019. So I started, a passion project focusing on environment stuff for a couple of years. And then I found out about Web3. And I realized this is going to be a real game changer. So I started Amber Studio at the end of 2021 and started building at that time towards the product that we're building now. So that's a quick intro about myself. And then about Amber Studio. We are a gaming ecosystem built on Sui. So for the last 3 years, we focus mainly on one product. That's E4C Final Salvation. It is a mobile MOBA game. We use E4C Final Salvation not as a play-to-earn tool, but as a long-term sustainable game focusing on real gamers, leveraging Web3 to enhance player experience. In this case, we focus on leveraging Web3 to enhance the ARPU, average revenue per user, while reducing the customer acquisition cost. And that opens a new door for us in the gaming space, not just Web3 gaming, but gaming period. That opens up an opportunity for us to tap into the nascent emerging markets of the world: India, South Asia, Middle East, Africa. We realize that these are not profitable markets for developers right now, so no one really develops games native to their experience. So we want to leverage blockchain and help become the first game developer who can conquer these markets and provide these players a native experience. And we think we can be profitable because of blockchain technology, because of Web3. So we've been on this path for the last 3 years, and we've shown really strong traction already that I would love to tell you a bit more. But also because of our us building Final Salvation, we were able to earn the right to do more. We're now one of the top projects on Swede's very large booming ecosystem. And then we therefore have earned the right to develop a game publishing platform, E4C Ludus on Steam, on Swede. So E4C Ludus is a multi-platform gaming layer developed in collaboration with Miston Labs. So think of it as a Steam, but built on Swede. And that became a second part of our overall ecosystem. And then now we realize that with Final Salvation, with Ludus, we are in a perfect situation to now venture into even more ambitious stuff. And that's why I also want to talk about our AI agent vision going forward. But essentially, this all together forms the complete gaming ecosystem that we want Web3 players to have real fun in our ecosystem. I know that's slightly long, but I promise that's the first and the last time that will be this long, just because I'm giving a quick overview of everything.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Johnson, for the detailed information. And of course, very first question's answer will be long because it has been a long journey. This is our second cycle, right, in the Web3 gaming space and continue to build, which is just amazing, Johnson. And because you personally have very strong background in Web2 or traditional gaming areas as well. So much respect, and everyone, I highly recommend you all to give Johnson and Ambrus Studio a follow because they are here to build, which is super amazing. And next, we of course would like to talk about that Ambrus Studio has received strong support from SUI, right? Could you please share how this collaboration came about and what impact it has had on your project? Thank you.
Oh, it's a great question. Final Salvation, we started building 3 years ago, about a year and a half in, which is mid last year. Sorry, the year before, mid 2023. Finally had to make a decision on which chain to build on. At that time, it was a bear market. We had a lot of discussions. We had offers from a lot of chains with very good commercial terms. We put out their commercial terms were good, but they were not the best. But they gave us a lot of support in so many different ways, and they have the best aligned vision with us. We both want to focus on making Web3 mainstream, making real gamers come from Web2 into Web3 and have fun seamlessly in Web3. So that made us the vision very, very aligned. And we started working together. And since we started working together, we've been the closest partner, and they continue to double down on us. We started with just one investment deal, then it's a grant, then it's another tranche of grant, another tranche of investment. They keep giving us more, and now we're building Ludus with them. It's because we've earned the trust from Sweet. We have showcased to them that what we are building, it can really be the game changer in the entire gaming industry, let alone Web3 gaming industry. And we're ready to make this transformation together with them. That's why we have such a deep working relationship with Sui, and they've treated us really just like long-term partners. And I truly appreciate all the support that they've given. And I can truly say that we're fully dedicated to the Sui ecosystem, and we want to make Web2, Web3 gaming mainstream together.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Johnson, for letting us know about that. And just like you said, right, there are a lot of public chains, and which could provide more support. It would be really, really important to builders, especially. Well, I have to say that choosing Sui is really smart. Look at their token price right now. Oh, that is just keep growing, right? Amazing. And well, of course, this is kind of like win-win for both of the teams over here. And since we talk about Sui and we talk about Sui token, how about let's talk about Ambrus token E4C. It's already listed on several exchanges, right? Could you please introduce the token utilities and tokenomics and its role and the overall Ambrus Studio ecosystem with us? Thank you.
Of course. Um, so actually, I have one more thing to add on Sui.
Of
When
course.
we first picked Sui, their token price is probably like a tenth of what they are right now. We made a big bet,
Mhm.
and then it really paid out. I think that this is actually a great lesson, even for our project as well. We picked Sui because they have the best long-term vision, the best tech, the best product, and we know that eventually it's going to break through. In fact, I think it's the same thing for E4C. Um, our token was listed starting December last year. So it's just been over a month. Honestly, the price has not been pretty. Why is that? It's because we have debt that we need to pay off. This is the paper hands who got our airdrops. And we're not a play to earn project. We focus on cr- real gamers, and we're not play to earn, which means we don't have the same buying power that other play to earn projects have. Our only buying powers come from people who believe in the long term prospect of a funding that's not play to earn, and the token is essentially the reflection of how much profit the game is making, which means that we have a totally different value proposition than any other tokens out there. And our game just launched. The game is actually doing really well. Which I will cover a little bit later. But therefore, our token, it actually stands for something very different. You should think of E4C token as a a game stock that you can buy. That's in its early stages right now. In the traditional IPO market, it's probably like Series B, but you get access to a very high potential project very early on who's just launching with great metrics. And that's what our token is. We don't have play to earn, but you get governance, you get all the upside from our operating income. And our plan is to make sure that our token holders get the best benefit, much like membership benefit. Let's say in 10-cent games, or even in, let's say, Marriott hotel points, right? You'll get benefits like that, but it's never going to be play to earn because we don't believe in it. And we believe that E4C should attract the best long-term holders because we've never advertised to earn players who eventually will cause us to have a vicious cycle. We've only advertised ourselves to people who believe in us long-term that this can be 100x because we're truly building an awesome product. And I am one of the people who truly have the experience to make this product work. So that's what E4C stands for. Right now, we're traded on KuCoin Gate, as well as a few other smaller exchanges. Please do check us out. I do think that we have huge potential, especially now that all the selling pressure from the paper hands are gone.
Nice. Yeah, that's definitely good news, right? Because we certainly would like to just let go of the paper hands and make the token stronger than ever. Thank you so much, Johnson, for bringing down the tokenomics of E4C, and certainly fascinating to see how the token economy is designed, right, to drive engagement and provide value within the ecosystem. Also, once again, smart move, right, to go with Sui. And let's also talk about post TGE because it is just amazing to see that Amber Studio continue to thrive post TG, because a lot of other projects, especially Web3 gaming project, typically winding down, or should I say dying down, within a few days or a few months, right, post TG. So what are the short term and long term plans that Amber Studio have, and you could share with us? Thank you.
Yeah, well, this is going to be a long answer, so
Mm-hmm.
a warning up front. First of all, final salvation. That's our biggest quote unquote treasury. That's where our biggest, let's say, upside will come from in terms of the actual product. Final Salvation, right now, we've launched it for 3 months in India, but the first few months is all beta launch. So the actual launch is actually just a month. We've gathered almost 500,000 downloads in India alone. And that's with very, we've proven that we are able to do it with about half the cost per install versus our competitor like Mobile Legend Bang Bang. So, which means that our thesis of leveraging Web3 for virality, community, viral marketing to reduce our customer acquisition costs, it really works. We're now starting to ramp up on the game. Our ratings on Google has continued to go up. When we first launched, we had some suffer, right? Because we're designing the game for a market that's that has lower tier for phones than we imagined. But now our Google rating has continued to go up. Our retention is in a very good state, and players love our game. So right now, we think that Final Salvation is going to be the main piece that help us, let's say, reach the next level of growth. So making that game good, first priority. Next, E4C Ludus. E4C Ludus, our publishing platform, that's going to be the what we also focus on the side. It is a great complement to Final Salvation because Final Salvation is a single game. It actually works really well with Ludus because this single game focuses on getting real gamers from Web2 into Web3. Then they became Web3 users. We give them a diverse gaming experience, whether whatever genre they want, whatever platform they want to be playing on, whether it's mobile, console, PC, we'll have an offering for them. Which means that we're now taking real gamers, acquiring them, getting them to play our game, and then also offering more games so that they don't leave the ecosystem. So now it becomes a very strong complement where gaming platforms, the toughest thing is to get the first game. We have our perfect title for that, which is Final Salvation. What we plan to do is do what Steam was able to do, or Valve was able to do with Steam when they initially had CSGO and Dota. So we want a great game to be the anchor of a great platform and build it in the long run. And for a publishing platform, it's relatively light in terms of assets, in terms of expenses, and if we pick the right games, we'll get very good short-term cash flow, which is a great complement to a much heavier self-developed game like Final Salvation. Second part, the third part of our vision is AI agent. We are, this is a sneak peek because it's not been announced, but we will be announcing very soon our white paper on Final Salvation being the first AI agent enabled Web3 mobile esport. So that means that we will have really, really cool stuff coming up on what you can do in Final Salvation. Why are we doing this? It's because traditional sports or traditional esport is full of problems. Fake games, gambling, really horrible attitude, toxicity within the game. And we realized that AI agent is a perfect way to solve it for this esport. And we, as a game developer that has a lot of true gamers playing the game, and we think that we are in a perfect position to capture the primary slot as an AI agent esport. MOBA is one of the best genres for it. And we think that, because of our unique situation, our unique prowess, experience in MOBA, we are the best position to make this happen. So, Final Salvation already launched, continue to operate and do ramp up customer acquisition this year while we develop other regions. Luda's Q1 will have the first MVP, and you'll see more and more games on Luda's. AI agent just beginning, and then we'll continue to double down on this in the coming year.
Nice. Yes, AI agent is certainly a super popular topic right now, right? And so exciting to learn that Amber Studio has a lot of very ambitious plans for the future. And yeah, from short term to long term. Thank you so much, Johnson, for sharing us a lot of details with us, and looking forward to seeing more new progress from your team. And of course, let's talk about the outlook of the future development of Web3 gaming sector. How does Amber Studio position itself within the Web3 gaming space? Thank you.
We have a very unique positioning. Um, First of all, I guess the first question is, what's the future of Web3 gaming, right? I think in the future, there's no such thing as Web3 gaming, because Web3 becomes a feature, becomes something native to the gaming industry. It may, Web3 gaming becomes mainstream. That's my bet. Because Web3 offers so many things that traditional gaming doesn't. Alignment of incentives, the community, the ability for, using self-created, user-created content, give them timestamps, give them verifiably uniqueness so that we can increase the revenue. There's so many unique things about Web3 that I think gaming industry can definitely leverage. So I think the future of Web3 gaming is the future of gaming too. Now, how are we positioned in the middle of that? When I first started, literally everyone just tell me, "Hey, do a pump and dump project, do a play to earn project. You'll raise so much money." I'm like, but how do I solve the vicious cycle problem? I can't avoid the death spiral if I do play to earn. So I decided to continue on a path, and I found the perfect market where Web3 truly helped me beat out any other competitor. That's these nascent emerging markets. That's competitive gaming, MOBA in these markets. So our goal, right, is to prove to the world that this thesis can work, that Web3 can truly become the cornerstone of a business that can solve traditional business problem in the gaming industry. In this case, we are able to make these nascent emerging markets profitable because of our unique approach, and be the first gaming studio that can tailor our offering to this 3.5 billion population. That's the problem that we're trying to solve. And we think that when we can do that, we will have a lot of we will literally be defining the Web3 gaming industry, and we'll have a lot of followers. But before that, people will be like, is this going to work? Well, there will be a lot of doubters. I don't care. I'm here to do the most kick-ass project in Web3 on the gaming side. And that's what I think our role in the Web3 gaming will be. We're here to be the genre defining Web3 game that can truly be the bridge between Web2 to Web3.
Nice. Wow. Shout out to Johnson and the Ambrus Studio team, because really respect, as we could see that in this cycle, right? A lot of projects already gave up building Web3 gaming um, projects. So it's just sad to see them go, right? But also very happy to see Amber Studio team still remain here and continue to thrive. We really, really, yeah, admire of you, and looking forward to seeing more things to come. Right. Next, we are going to collect some questions from our audiences. Yeah, at least from my part, I already asked of the questions that I would like to discuss about, and let me double check over here. And of course, we got a lot of audience joining as well. Let me see. Okay, so over here, I saw our audience asks what inspired the creation of Final Salvation. Are there any unique gameplay features that set apart from other mobile games? And Johnson, feel free to share your screen if needed. Thank you.
Sure. I'm on my mobile, so it's much
Oh,
harder for
okay.
me to share my screen. But yeah, and I have my we're I my final salvation is another mobile phone, so
Oh,
it's okay. I There's plenty of ways for me to get this to work, but I first want to focus on answering the question, right?
yes.
What inspired me is I started thinking about a mobile game that's easier to get into, that's shorter and faster, almost 10 years ago. I was with Riot Games at that time, and I realized that League of Legends, as a sophisticated PC game, it needs an easy entry point as the world converts from PC to
Mhm.
mobile. So I started Wild Rift when I was in Riot. That was a very successful project, but the producer decided to make something that's even harder than like Honor of Kings or NLBB. And I'm like, no, I had this product vision. I'm going to make it work. I think a mobile game that's tailored to non-mobile users, tailored to people who love competitive gaming, but make them play in 10 minutes. I think that's the future. So I've had that vision for a long time. I tried to realize in Riot, I couldn't. So when I understood that I have this opportunity, a David versus Goliath opportunity, because everyone think MOBA is too hard to make. I know how to make them. And I now conquered the easiest market in terms of like acquisition spend or the amount of money we need to spend. India, South Asia. I go to these markets where I am the David, but I think I can, beat out other competitors because there's almost no competitors there, and then prove my thesis. So so that's the first part where the idea came from. I've always wanted to do it for the last 10 years. How we are unique. One, shorter and faster, 10 minutes per game. Two, easier to get into but harder to master. We do it with a very unique two champion approach. Essentially, it changes the learning curve of the game so that it's very easy for everyone to learn, but it's really hard to master. And it gives so many degrees of fun in the game. Um, I don't want to explain too much more because it will become too complex. But essentially, it's impossible for someone to get into League of Legends right now because there's like 165 champions. MLBB Honor of Kings is like 130. You realize that for these games, once there's like 8, 10 years in, it's so hard to make new players adopt. Our goal, right, is to have 30 champions. The 30 champions in our design give us 900 different combination of champions because we're a dual champion system. That means that we don't need to memorize so many things. The gameplay can be easy for people to get in, but still very hard for the pro players. That's our second differentiation. Third, but also super important, we are natively designed for these markets. What does that mean? We our game works on $100 phone. We've optimized for them. We've chosen our technical design, our tech stack, especially fit for these people, so that our game is one of the going to be the best performing game in terms of quote unquote phone performance in these markets because we're the only one who natively design the experience for these low tier phones, and that's our differentiation. And I think that we are, the market has given the message to us that this differentiation works. Now we're just here ready to scale.
Nice. Wow. Thank you so much, Johnson, for answering our audience questions. And well, I have to say, this is also a great question. Perhaps our audience also, yeah, play the game. And right now we have crossed over 10,000 live views on Binance Live. That is awesome. I also saw our banner, yeah, our AMA banner being featured on the front page of Binance. I'm going to take a screenshot over here and then later share it with you. And everyone, if you go to Binance.com or go to use the Binance web app, then you can also definitely see us on the very top of the live section. And over here, let me see, we got a lot of questions over here. So Johnson, there is another project in the ecosystem called Ludus, right?
Ludus,
Oh,
yes, that's
Ludus.
the publishing platform that I was just talking about.
Okay, great. So how does it differentiate itself from other existing game publishing platforms? Hey, this is another good
Um,
question. Oh my.
I know you have a really high quality audience, so they're
Thank
asking
you.
really good questions. No, because also, we our pitch is very complex, right? It's not like something you can easily understand in 10 minutes. Oh yeah, I'm building a Ponzi scheme. Just come join me. I have a great narrative. It's a meme coin about that. So all right, no, so E4C Ludus. We want to first compare us to Steam or other publishing platforms in Web2 space. You realize that gaming in Web2, people usually just focus on one or two platforms. Even as big as Steam, they're only on PC with little mobile presence. In China, for example, Wii games, they're only on, it's only on mobile, and PC. And then very few people, right, develop across. And in Web3, do we play? We play Telegram games, HTML5, PC, console, mobile, everything. We think gaming needs to be borderless and platform agnostic. So versus any traditional platforms, we took out the let's say the wall between these platforms. As long as you have one account with us on Ludus, you can play games on any platform. So that's the first differentiation. Second, comparing us to the other Web3 gaming platforms, we do not, we first of all, as a platform, do not really support play to earn. If as a game you want to do play to earn, it's your own business. But our thesis is that we only want to attract real gamers. We have zero interest to attract play to earn players. We believe that as a platform to generate revenue, it's not about starting another Ponzi scheme. It's making long-term revenue. And we want to make sure we can help the games on our platform do that. So that's the second differentiation on focusing on real gamers. Third differentiation is our collaboration with Sui. Sui, one of the hottest ecosystem right now into layer one, but their ecosystem, right? There's only a few projects that's already launched that gets so much support, and we're one of them. So we think that the fact that we're building on a very hot chain is the perfect way to roll the snowball and have the flying wheel effect happening for our game and for our platform. So that's how Ludus is very differentiated. And last but not least, I already talked about it, the fact that it's anchored by a very strong title that purely is attracting Web2 real gamers, Final Salvation. That's another huge differentiation for us.
Nice. Truly attract real gamers. Yeah, from Web 2 to Web 3. That is also the goals of a lot of gaming project I wanted to achieve. And yeah, this is definitely wow, very inspiring. Thank you so much, Johnson, for answering the question. And also thanks to our audience who asked the questions, and friends, keep the questions to come, and you can post your questions across platforms we are streaming on Twitter, video streaming, and also on Binance Live. So anywhere you can ask your questions. And over here, another question. Let me see. Yeah, of course, talking about the sustainability of the token and the project, right? Because the question is, how does Amber Studio plan to maintain a sustainable token economy as the ecosystem grows? And well, of course, we know that it is really common to see other projects that they just disappeared, right, due to their spiral. And Johnson actually previously covered about it, right? How to avoid death spiral, etc. But I believe we have some audience probably just join us because right now we hit to 11,000 live views on Binance Live. So, just would you like to, well, go deeper and letting us know how does the team plan to maintain the sustainability of your token E4C as the
Yep.
ecosystem continue to grow? Thank you.
Yep, and that's a really good question. I think the biggest solution for that is that we don't have a death spiral coming, right? We don't give out tokens for free. We did that for marketing purposes early on, and now we're launched. We have a clear price tag with our token, and then we use the token for marketing activities. Essentially, it's an easier way for alignment between the parties. So we will use our tokens instead of fiat to make marketing payments only when we think it makes sense and it's a better creates a better alignment. So what does that mean? For example, we have a multi-level marketing based referral program focusing on campuses. And then, if you get your friends to play the game together, and the more games you play, the more games they play, you get a little bit of token from what? From referring a friend. Because otherwise, I would be paying Google to acquire these users, but now you ask your friend to come in. That helped me. That replaces my marketing cost. Then I'm very happy to use my token to make that payment. So because of our unique methodology, right, we're not play to earn. Then we use tokens for marketing purposes and virality community purposes. We have no sustainability problem. Now the other side of the coin of the problem then is, so why would the token keep growing in terms of value? Well, we have treasury buybacks. Essentially, what we promised to our investors, and in all my AMAs, that's what we promised. When the ecosystem makes money, whether it's Final Salvation, whether it's Ludus, whether it's our AI agent, when we make money, we will use the money that we make. A portion of it goes to buying back our tokens. So that's why I said, essentially, you think of it, you're buying a stock of a very early on rising superstar, because you will get the token will do well if our ecosystem, if our game does well, and then the token price will rise. Yes, it's very unconventional. It's very different than the Web3 gaming guys out there, because I simply don't see how those play to earn can be long term sustainable. So we went on a path, an unbeaten path that's actually really lonely. But I have now gathered a lot of supporters who support us on this track, and we intend to continue to go strong to prove to the world that this thesis can work, and we are here to revolutionize the Web3 gaming industry.
Nice. I love that. Thank you so much, Johnson. Wow, this certainly revolutionized project, right? Well, how about say the ecosystem, because it's not just one project. And of course, we have gamers that might have different tastes, right? So they ask, are there any plans to expand into other gaming genres beyond MOBA? Thank you.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yes, so we know that Final Salvation is a mobile game, right? So we have Binance Live audience asking, are there any plans for the team to expand different other gaming genres beyond mobile?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, for sure. So in terms of self-developed games, we actually, in our history of the 3 years, we have a game called Fallen Arena. We also developed an archery type of mini game on HTML5 in Telegram called Demon Hunter. So we already have showcased that we can develop many good games in other genres too. But right now, our own development effort focuses on Final Salvation, because we think this is where the future is going to be, and we see so much traction in Final Salvation. So I'm all in on Final Salvation in terms of own development. But we also, because of, let's say, my connections in the gaming industry, what I was able to get is a lot of people will love to publish through us. They want to access, the Telegram users. They think Web3 can have higher ARPU. So I am now in discussion with a lot of studios to publish their games. So, as a publishing platform, which is what Ludus is doing, we will be covering a lot of different genres. So, for example, one of the first genres that we have a game that we actually will be releasing soon on Ludus is tower defense genre, relatively casual. Again, no play to earn, but very very fun game. So we think we will certainly be going to many more genres. We're here to offer players a fun experience that can be part of our gaming lifestyle, and it will certainly go beyond just Final Salvation.
That is super. Thank you so much, Johnson, for letting us know about that. So, friends, if you like various type of games, right, you definitely need to follow Amber Studio and Johnson on X and join their community because there will be a lot more to come. And well, we got another question. Since previously you mentioned that Amber Studio also paying attention to the AI agent trend, right? So how does your team see the role of AI in enhancing the gaming experience within the Amber Studio ecosystem? How will you do that? Because, well, it is of course going to be amazing if we could see Web3 games integrating some AI technology, right? Thank you.
Yep. So first of all, this question will be very broad if I focus on what AI and
Mhm.
AI agent can do for gaming.
Right.
So instead, I'm going to focus on what AI agents can do for esports, which is our very unique strength, right? Um, I think I can claim, and I think it's a safe claim that of all the people in Web3, I am probably one of the most experienced esport person because of my experience in running League of Legends esports.
Exactly.
So this is, I want to focus on my unique strength. And in this, because of what I've gone through in the last 10 years, I realized that in traditional sport or in esport, there's so many behavior problems, whether it's rigged gaming, rigged results because of gambling, whether it's toxicity coming from the games, whether how many times for the gamers out here, how many times have you played, let's say, an Honor of Kings or League of Legends game, and then your teammates are just so bad, and then you just give them one shout, and then they decide to disconnect, they decide to surrender, or they start to just be really mean back at you, and then get into a shouting war. How many times have you heard hey, this player is not focusing fully on their game because they've taken like a million in bribery just to lose the first dragon, or give up the first goal in a soccer game.
Mhm.
We realized that the perfect intersection between esport and AI agent is the fact that AI, we can set boundaries to it, that they will never do these things, while still giving players a flexibility to train their own AI agent. So they can have so many different playing style, so many ways to complement themselves, but at the same time, take away these very bad downsides. And I think that's what AI agents can really help grow esports. Um, and for us, AI agent, if you want to do it really well, as a third party agent is really hard because no gaming studio will give you their source code. But us as a developer for already a launched game in the Web3 space, in the mobile space, which is one of the best competitive genre, we are in a unique position to conquer this AI agent war in the esports field. And we're fully confident that this is something that will eventually, down the road, really change the gaming industry's landscape. And that's what we think why we're focusing on AI agent. It's truly game changer, and the AI agent esport truly solve the industry's problems.
Nice. Thank you so much, Johnson, for letting us know about that. And super exciting to see that Amber's, well, definitely, yeah, also integrating AI into your gaming project. This is going to be amazing. And over here, well, I believe we have some audience probably just get to know Amber Studio. ecosystem, right, for the first time over here on Binance Live. So like ask about fundraising. Do you mind to share some information regarding fundraising for Ember Studio? Thank you.
Sure. We've raised about $9 million, almost 10, throughout the last 3 years. And then we are now done with fundraising per se. We because our token is now live. But we do have a lot of very strong investors backing us. Spartan has been our consistent lead for us, and then M13, which is actually a traditional VC fund, has been also the lead investor for our previous round. And then we have a lot of big names, from the gaming ecosystem, people who invest deeply into gaming. For example, IVC. We also have, very reputable traditional VCs like Goodwater Capital, that's investing in us. We also have, really senior people from, really big funds, big names, big exchanges like Binance. So we think that we have a very star-studded investor lineup. But now it's time to prove to the world that this thesis can work. But yes, fundraising, we didn't raise 100 million like a lot of other projects. I think single game as a narrative is hard for us to raise that much when we started. It's all about the market, but we think that we've done well for let's say, the kind of project that we're building.
Nice. Thank you so much, Johnson, for letting all of our audience know about that. And well, since we are towarding the end of our event, I would like to share my screen as well because I wanted to let our audience to see that we are being featured on the front page of Binance Live over here. Yeah, everyone, if you just go to Binance.com, find the live section, you're going to see us on the very top over here, or go to Binance app, right? You can also see the live section. It's very easy to find us and click on the banner. You're going to join us because we're also streaming on our Twitter, right? Twitter live streaming. So I just want to let people know that where they can find us. And we have been continuing giving crypto airdrops on Binance Live. So be sure to join us over here. Thank you so much. And another thing that I wanted to share is actually some videos from Amber Studio. Let me first stop share this one and then go over to our video over here. Here we go. Final Salvation trailer. For people, yeah, who have not watched this, yeah, or might not be familiar with this. Here we go. Nice. It's available on Google Play, right, and App Store, everyone. So be sure to go there and find Ember Studio. E4C Final Salvation. You will be glad to start to play the game. And well, Johnson, before we end the event, do you have additional information that you would like to share with us? Thank you.
Yes, I actually want to share why we're called E4C. So E4C stands for Earth 4 degrees Celsius. While putting a letter and a number into our token name is an easy way for people to remember it, it's much more than that, right? It
Mhm.
stands for my passion and my studio's passion on the climate change issue. Um, we are actually on track to increase our temperature in this planet by 4 degrees by end of the century. And if we get there, the result is going to be devastating for the entire planet. But in the Web3 circle, especially in the gaming circle, who talks about climate change? No one. And I want everyone, while they're in the circle, to continue to be reminded about the importance of this climate change issue. In fact, our story, our background lore is written in year 2100 in the world that has already risen by 4 degrees. So, which means that the sea level is rising, temperatures drastically changing, food supply dwindle by half, desertization around a lot of the northern hemisphere. That's really going to happen. We did all the scientific research. We wrote a novel about it. And we want the world to know the dire consequences of climate change so that if we do well, Final Salvation does well, E4C does well, more people will know about climate change and they will be thinking about this issue and they'll be reading about our story and understand what it means to the world. So we not just want to change the world and the gaming side. We hope that gaming can be a force for good, that we can make the world a better place. And I hope that you, all of your audience, and Moonlight yourself can join us in this drive to make the world a better place together. So that's it. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you so much, Johnson. Let's make the world, especially Web3 gaming world, a better place for all the gamers to enjoy. And shout out to Ambrus Studio. You guys have been building very, very hard for 2 cycles already. Thank you. And I'm going to end our streaming over here. Friends, no worries if you miss any of our live session. We have replays and we're going to run the replays right now. So if you miss it, no worries. You can always stay here, the same link, and watch a replay. And thank you so much for over 11,000 live audience. Actually 13,000 live audience already. Wow. Thank you. Appreciate that. And let's keep in touch. Thank you, Johnson. Thank you. See you next
All
time.
right. Thank you.
Bye.
Take
Thank
care. Bye
you.
bye.
Bye. Amazing friends, I'm going to play some background music while we are winding down. Thank you. Don't forget to give Amber a follow on X. See you soon.